We had meant to bring this up earlier, but we're seeing, this was your topic here. Tight rental markets are pushing demand for investment into rental properties. What are you seeing here?
Yeah, so this was an article that I came across, and it was sort of suggesting that based on the tightness of the rental market and less sort of condo development, that we could see investors putting their money into purpose-built rentals. And I think that what's an interesting question for me. It's like, yeah, sure, like we need it, so let's go ahead. If the economics are there for investors, fantastic. Um, is it enough to help with our housing crisis in the GTA? And for that, I would
Right.
say sure, but also I think that there's a very good argument for government-built, purpose-built rentals for lower income households. So I think that the two of them could go simultaneously with no impact on investors' return. They're going to be
Yeah.
different property types. They're going to be different neighborhoods. Certainly, if you have private money, you can build wherever you want, wherever you think that it's going to give you the best return. Government purpose-built housing is probably not going to be, in the prime most choice places, but we definitely need it. I think that we've had off-screen chats about where I feel like our sort of entry level labor market could go, and I think that we need affordable housing in order to
Mhm.
preserve that labor market that we absolutely need, because AIs aren't going to be pouring your coffees and stuff yet. So
Come on. They will. They're driving our taxis already in California. They'll be pouring our coffees in no time. My slight different take on that is that we've made it a lot harder for mom and pop investors, and maybe less profitable for mom and pop investors now, with the changes to the capital gains taxes, with the changes to, even like an Airbnb being charged GST on the sale, I don't have that
yeah,
correct, but essentially the CRA has made it more difficult for mom and pop investors in rentals, as well as just short-term rentals for like a business that you're renting. So if we're going to take all of that supply out, and those people are not going to be as interested in buying investment properties anymore, then we need to build some other rental properties. And right now, like, it's dipped. Like the price of average asking price for rents all across Canada has gone down in the last year. It's down to 2,109, but that's still up significantly from where it was 5 years ago.
for sure.
So I think if we're going to take that rental supply out, where we're going to allow anything that was a one-bedroom condo that was like investor stock is going to now go towards a lot more end user home buyers, then we need to be building other rental properties to backfill that. And yes, we've slowed down inflation, so it's not inflation, slowed down immigration. There'll be less people coming into Canada, but that's not a long-term solution. That's
And
just a short-term
it's not a
blip.
significant slowdown either. It's that, again, that was more of a headline. It was a 20% decrease over the next couple of years. And that was proposed. And I don't know that it's written into policy yet. Because that's also, we've seen that happen a few times, where a government
But
will
it's not like
announce.
conservatives are not going to launch into like high immigration. Like if they get into power, they're not going to come in and we got to ramp up 400,000 a year for immigration.
Well,
They'll
it
take
would
a
be
tighter
stupid if
approach
they
to it.
did, until we can get this housing crisis under control. But I mean, we need the immigration to contribute towards the GDP. So, um,
Yeah.
it's a tight situation. But to add to what you were saying about the mom and pop investors with rental prices, we made it darn near impossible recently for foreign investors to put their money into housing in Canada. And I think that contributes greatly to our condo market and our condo development not being built. If it was built on Hong Kong dollars, which I never had a problem with, And we talked about this early on in the podcast. Is I don't as long as the money is legal. We're not talking about laundered money. As long as it's good money, we need the housing built. So I don't care if it's Canadians funding it or somebody from overseas funding it and then renting it to Canadians. We need the condos built, and with all the legislation against foreign investment, that's going to contribute to the stagnant building that we're seeing now. So a lot of factors.
I don't know. So if rental prices have decreased over the last year and the supply of units available for end users to buy has gone up, like why do we need to open this up to foreign buyers or to make it easier for more people to invest in single unit properties and then rent them out? It's not creating rental supply. It's not really creating a rental supply. I'm on board with creating more purpose-built rentals, government investing in more purpose-built rentals, or having a program for builders to build purpose-built rentals. I'm cool with that, but I don't think we need to open it up to end users, to mom and pop investors to put all their retirement nest egg into a one-bedroom condo. And I don't think we need to open it up to foreign buyers to do it. They can still build large scale. We haven't cut off the supply for big investments into builders from taking foreign money, but I don't think we need to invite people from all over the world to buy one bedroom condos and then leave it vacant for the most part, just parking their money there. I think that was the issue that we had.
I don't think that they were vacant for a long time. I mean, there may be some vacancies now, and some of those foreign investors have pulled out, which I think is like also good because it creates opportunities for Canadians to buy it. We're just in the middle of the shift, and so it's uncomfortable right now. But what it will likely lead to is foreign money built the condo buildings that we needed to be built, and that money's not there right now. The builders are not selling enough units to justify putting a shovel in the ground.
Nothing's in the future too. Like we're not built. There's no future projects coming in. I think it's 3 years. Like there's hardly any buildings coming.
I mean, listen to that. That's where the opportunity is in the condo market, and it's going to be Canadians that are going to buy up those units. And right now they're undesirable. But if you look ahead 3 to 5 years from now, they're going to be very desirable. I think it's a tremendous investment that was created because a bunch of foreign money built the condo buildings, and now it's going to be sold to Canadians. I don't see a downside there.
I think that I do. I think that we're seeing so it'll be Canadians that are purchasing those units, but it'll be end user Canadians that are getting their first property that are buying those units that are for sale right now and seeing the appreciation in that value versus a foreign investor or a mom and pop investor putting their life savings, or the foreign investor putting a small percentage of their income or their assets into a one bedroom condo in the GTA or the greater Vancouver area, and then seeing that investment grow. It'll be people owning their homes that will see that appreciation. And that's been what Canadians have been wanting, is that like, oh, I'll never get into the home market. Well, now's your opportunity because prices have gone down, and the opportunity is to see growth in that market as well, versus a whole bunch of people that already have money and they can take that, they can keep that. Build purpose-built rentals and then allow first-time home buyers to see appreciation in their home values over the next few years.
Look, I'm very much of the mindset, build now, ask questions later. I don't see any scenario where we overbuild, and I understand the concern there would be that if there's too much built, then everybody who owns property is going to lose value on that property. I don't think that there's any scenario that I can think of, that probably anybody else can think of, that would happen. Let's just build. We need it. Purpose-built rentals, low-income rentals, everything. Let's get shovels into the ground.
Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for the next, the Ontario administration, the Canadian administration, the next governments that come in. Let's get more building happening. Let's make it easier to build. And that will be from all levels of government. That will be investment in transportation, in building, in a whole variety of services. And that's what I'm looking for next.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's end it there. I think that's our longest podcast that we've done. And we'll see you next week. We'll be recording earlier in the week, and we'll see you next time on the Mortgage People podcast.